fellow participants, Prof. and then Dr. Addai-Mununkum. Good morning and welcome to today's program. As was announced and also advertised, after Dr. Addai's presentation, the students made a passionate appeal for a repeat, and he agreed and said that he will take us through the Zotero today with some practice. So since time is a bit far gone, because we had some technical challenges at the beginning, I'd want to invite Prof to welcome participants so that we can start today's session. So Prof, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our excellent presenter, Richardson, Dr. Richardson Addai-Mununkum, and students, participants to this session. Well, I think this has been arranged as a special workshop for you because he introduced Zotero, to you to enable you to get your references and other things in order. So I thank you all for coming to be part of this workshop. You were very happy with the excellent presentation he gave. Today is going to be probably extraordinary. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. I'm sure it's going to help you to, change the way you do things in terms of referencing your data, your information, your literature review, and all the things that you require that you have a good reference source. And they are there always, permanently for you. You can always go back to them. I thank you for coming, and I believe that these workshops are becoming very popular with you, and we hope that it will continue, when more details come. So our erudite presenter, Richardson, we want to thank you for availing yourself and also the time you had to arrange for this. We're all grateful to that, and I think the entire university is very grateful, for your commitment to this course of ours. So thank you very much. I know that you are part of IRIS group, associate group, so I'm happy that you're doing all these things for our dear students. They need the help. Every little help to give, I think, is very, very important. And I hope that they will learn from this. So thank you very much, and I declare this open and present to you our presenter, Richardson, who is going to take you through the workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof, for your welcome address. And participants, I am sure by now, Dr. Richardson needs no introduction to us again.
No.
So, Doc, your participants are ready, and we can start your presentation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tamanja, and thank you so much, Prof. Anamwa, for inspiring all of us. And so it's a privilege to come back and to share the little that I have. It's always a good feeling to know that people appreciate what you're doing. And so I'm excited that our participants are ready to learn. And I am also very happy to share what I have. As I hinted, ordinarily, this would have been a face-to-face kind of thing where I could go around to support people who are having challenges here and there. But given the exigencies of the time, things are not going to be normal because we are not in normal times. But I'll do my best to make it as practical as possible so that everybody gets something to start with. I need to also indicate that it's not possible to learn everything there is to know with Zotero. I've been using it for the past 8 years or so, and I'm still learning. Just last night, I learned something new about it. And so what I intend to do is to get you to a point where on your own you can begin to learn more. And I'll be very happy to hear that people have learned more and are ready to even share with me new things that they are learning that I probably might not even know. And so thank you very much for coming. I would just want to pick up from where we ended last week by just giving a recap of what we did. The previous presentation was about referencing and why you need to get it right, because if you plagiarize, the consequences are dire and you don't want to get there. And the unfortunate part of the story is that a lot of people who are caught plagiarizing might not have done that willingly. They probably missed out due to some forgetfulness on their part, due to some minute error, but academia will not pardon you for those errors. And that is why technology is always helpful. If we can get technology to do a lot of the things for us, it makes our work so easy. And so it was from that point that I introduced Zotero as a reference manager and a tool that can help us to reference right. So I will quickly share my screen so that I give a bit of an outline, and then it's a wrong one. And then I'll go ahead and pretty much today you are going to see my screen all the time because I'll be demonstrating what we need to learn. Let me see this file. It's a file I'm intending to share. Okay. Yeah, so Zotero is a reference manager, and it's a tool that can help you to organize your references and very helpful to ensure that you do not miss out any reference. And that is why it's very important for every graduate student to at least know what it is and then try to use it. And that is what I'm encouraging that every one of us is able to do. Yes, so my screen is here now, good. So by way of an outline, I'll just talk about Zotero, what it is, how it works, and then we're going to do a little bit of how you can get started with Zotero. We'll do how you can add things to your records or your library, how you can organize your library, how you can create references from your library, and then more importantly, how you can use Zotero in Microsoft Word, because a lot of our dissertations, all our dissertations are written in Microsoft Word. So how do we coordinate and do inter-citation and generate references automatically when we are using Zotero? So for those who missed the very first lesson, I'll just do a quick demonstration of how it works. If we're able to see the bigger picture, then we are more likely to be interested in learning more about it. So what I have here on my screen is a Word document and a passage, as we will have in a dissertation or something of that nature. Any academic writing that you're doing will be in something of this nature. And I hope, Dr. Tamanja, I hope you can see my Word document.
So, yes, I can see it.
Okay, good, thank you. So if you're having a writing of this nature, a lot of times you're likely to have in-text citations in there. So I'm going to try to add some in-text citations to this work and then try to generate a bibliography from it so that you know how the end product looks like. And then I'll take my time to go step by step to get you to where I was able to get an in-text citation. Usually what I would do is that I'll put the cursor where I want to put the in-text citation. And so maybe after the very first sentence, in recent years, education has seen drastic change across the globe with regards to economic and social transformation in our society. I want to put an in-text citation there. If I'm doing that with Zotero, I already have Zotero connected to my Microsoft Word. So I'll come to the menu bar, locate Zotero, and then click to add citation. As soon as I click, it gives me a dialog box that asks me which citation style do I want to use. And as you all know, we are now going APA version 7. And so I'll just check APA version 7, select that one, click OK, and then I'm expecting, yes, I'm expecting the Zotero inter-citation box to come up. So now I tell the Zotero what I want to cite, the author I want to cite. So assuming this author is Addai-Mununkum, let me just use myself for the first instance. Addai-Mununkum 2013 something. I will type Addai-Mununkum just in there. And because I already have Addai-Mununkum in my library, all the Addai-Mununkums in my library will just pop up. And then I'll get to choose which of them I want to cite here. So assuming this is about public schools, so I'm guessing this is the citation. All these are hypothetical situations. They are not real, so don't quote me. So I'll just add it over here and then hit enter. The moment I do that, my Addai-Mununkum 2013 is cited over there. Let me do another one. In line with, I'm picking from this line, in line with global trends in education, the government of Ghana through Ministry of Education is taking transformative measures, blah, 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 here. I want to also put a citation there. Sometimes you might not even remember the author, and that is one great thing with Zotero. Even if you don't remember the author, you can still search and find the author. And I'm going to demonstrate that with this one. So I put my cursor where I want the citation to be. I click add citation, and then it brings the box to me. Remember, the second time it did not ask me to choose because it had already asked me which citation style. So it presupposes I'm going with APA through the document. And that is why the dialog box did not come again. So for this citation, I don't exactly remember the author, but I remember it has something to do with education in Ghana. It has something to do with Ministry of Education. And so I will just type in Ministry of Education because I don't remember the author. And then everything related to Ministry of Education that I have put in my library will pop up. So I'm not sure. I'm backtracking a little bit. For this citation, I'm not sure the author. So I want to search anything related to Ministry of Education. So I'll just type Ministry of Education.
So where are you typing the Ministry of Education? Because you can't see it.
You can see, I'm typing in the box. Do you see the Zotero box, the red box showing?
We see it at the left-hand side. We have add stroke edit citation. And then we have add stroke edit bibliography.
Okay, so you don't see any box on your screen.
No.
You can't see my cursor. Oh,
no.
That is a big surprise. So do you see the Word document then?
Yes, you can see the cursor at the end of the country.
End of the country, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try once more. So when I click this one,
okay, yeah.
Okay,
now it has come.
Oh, excellent. Okay, good. So we're on the same page now. Good.
Yeah.
So I'm searching for Ministry of Education. So I'll just type Ministry of Education because I'm not really sure the author, education. Once I begin to type, everything related to Ministry of Education will come up. So you see that I have a couple of options.
Yeah.
Then I can remember, oh, this idea, I picked it from the pre-tertiary curriculum framework. So I get to select that one and then click enter, and there's an error. Don't mind me. There's an error. I'm going to fix this. It brought something that is not related. Some of these errors happen sometimes, but yeah. So it has brought the Ministry of Education there for us. Let me clean it and do it again because of the error. So I'm going back, Ministry of Education, and then I'm picking teacher curriculum framework. Good. So I've added that citation.
This one has come up.
This one has come. Good. Now, whenever you use Zotero to add a citation, when you click on that citation, you see that it will be highlighted. And that will show you that it's actually connected to your Zotero. if you click on any citation that is not highlighted, it means it's not connected. And so you need to be careful. The ones that are not connected will not show in your reference list. So the first one I added is there. This one is also there. Let me add one more to show how it works with multiple authors for a particular idea, because sometimes you bring one or two sentences and the ideas are coming from multiple sources. So in that instance, it's the same process. So I'm adding a citation to this part, Ministry of Education in collaboration with NACA and blah, blah, blah. So I put my cursor there, go to add citation, and then I see NACA. So let me try to find NACA in my library. And then yes, NACA is there, so I select NACA. If there's another citation, I just need to hit the space bar and then type the other citation too. So maybe this one is also related to Ministry of Education, but another one, National Teacher Standards. Let me pick that one. Maybe I can add another person who says something.
So yeah, we don't put comma to separate them.
No, you don't put comma. You just put the space to separate them.
All right.
So let me just pick this for the sake of example. So I have all these three. The moment you put your space, it moves to the next line. So you can add another one.
Okay.
So yeah. So once I have it like this, I can just hit my enter, and then I'll hit my enter. Good. So the moment I hit my enter, you see that the citation, what I cited have all been lined up in the same paragraph for me. So it will do the comma, the full stop, and all of that. The semicolon, you don't have to deal with that. So it will take care of that. So I've cited a couple of references. And so quickly, let me just demonstrate how I will add a reference list. So once I'm done with my writing, usually your reference will go to the bottom. I'll just type my reference, and then I'll come up here, and instead of clicking add citation, this time I'm not adding citation, I'm rather adding a bibliography. So I'll just click add bibliography, and then automatically it generates my bibliography for me, just like magic. And so I don't have to worry about leaving anything out, because everything has been configured in there. And this is why it is so exciting to use this one. Because if you're writing a PhD dissertation of 200 to 300 pages, sometimes with citations over 300, it's very difficult to keep track and to make sure every one of them is in there. But if you're using a reference manager like Zotero, then you don't have to worry. And you get everything right. So this is the most exciting part of the job. But the question is, how do we get here? How do we get our Zotero connected to our web? How do we get our references already there? Because I was just searching and it was coming. So that is the part that I want to show from here. So we'll come back to this. So let me just minimize this one and then show our Zotero. So with the adverts, we sent out some instructions that before you come, try to download Zotero. I hope some of you were able to do. And it's very simple. You just go to zotero.org. Zotero.org. And then it will give you the chance to download the Zotero standalone. First, I advise that you create an account. The way Zotero works is that it doesn't stay just on your computer, and that is one good thing with it. You create the account online, and then your library is created online. And so even if your computer crashes, you still have all your library intact. I was just sharing with Dr. Tamanja, I had a situation last night with my computer. So I'm actually using a new computer. I just got it this morning because I already have my account configured online. It was just a matter of connecting it to this computer, and that's exactly what it does. So that is why you will need to create an account. And so if you come to the Zotero page, it will allow you to create an account. If you were to click login, I already have an account. So I can just log into my account. So I want to show you my account online, and then later I'll show you my account offline. So you're going to have your online account and you have your offline account, which will be on your computer. But anytime you update the offline one, the next moment you connect it to the computer, it automatically updates the online one. So you don't lose any of your references that you have put there. So it works great. That is why I advise that you create your account. So if you did not have an account like me, you will go to register for a free account, and then you go through the process like you do, and then you can register. And so that will be your very first step to having Zotero and using it. You have to first create your account, and I'm guessing you've already done that. If you haven't, don't do it now because you might lose out. We might not be able to wait for everybody to go through. So take note that the first step is you creating an account. And then the second step is downloading what we call the Zotero standalone. So I'll just minimize this. It's not coming fast, but there's the software part called the Zotero standalone. And this is what I'm showing you. In fact, it is your library that you keep on your desktop. So on your desktop, it will come with this icon. I hope you can see, Dr. Tamanja, where my arrow is moving. Yeah, so that is your Zotero icon. Once it is installed on your machine, you have that icon. And when you open it, this will be your Zotero. If you like, this will be your library because all your readings will be there. This is my library. And as you can see, we have about 1,047 items in my library now. So these are citations I've used, references, books I've read, articles I've read, that I've saved all of them here. And so whenever I need to cite, and it's something that I have already read, it's just very easy to do from here. So once you have created your account online, then you download the Zotero standalone. It is still with your Zotero.org. And you go to Zotero.org, it will ask you, you get the option to download. And I think I provided a link. So yeah, so this is it. You download and then you are able to get your Zotero standalone here on your desktop. So once you have it here, of course, for yours, you are not going to have all these references there when you open it the first time. You are probably going to get something like this. Blank. I'm trying to create something that will be in the neighborhood of what you see. So it will be blank because you have not added any item to it. The first thing you do at this point is to connect your Zotero standalone to your online account. So you have already created your online account, but you want to connect it to what you have on your computer so that as you update what you have on your computer, the one online will also be updated. That way, if you miss or something happens to your computer, you don't lose out on anything. And so that is what I want to demonstrate at this point. So to be able to add or connect your Zotero standalone to your online account, you go to edit. So you see there's a menu bar here. There's a file, there's edit, there's view, there's tools. You choose the edit one, edit, and then you come all the way down to preferences. So edit, preferences. Here, there are a couple of tabs. There's general, there's sync, there is blah, 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 blah. What you need is the sync because you want to sync your standalone, Zotero standalone to your online account. And so when you click it, you have something here. For you, for the first time, it will not be like this, but you have places where you type in your login account. So when you created the online account, you use the login name, you use the password. At this point, you're going to enter them here, and then you are going to tell the computer to sync it. I have already synced mine, and that is why you see that my username is here. If I want, I can unlink the account, but I don't want to do that because I'm using it. So for you, you have your username and then password options, columns for you to fill in. Once you fill in and you sync, that is all you need to do. Your Zotero standalone is now connecting to your Zotero online. And so all your references online can be imported over here. So for me, if I was using a new machine, and this I did just this morning, this is a new machine, as I said, and so I downloaded Zotero standalone, and then I came to connect my Zotero to my online account. The moment I did, all my references came back onto this machine, so I'm able to use it. So it's very important that you do this process. So remember, you create an account online. Number two, you download your Zotero standalone. Number three, you will connect your Zotero standalone to your online account. And that is what I just demonstrated. You go to Edit, Preferences, go to Sync tab, log in your credentials, and then command it to sync. And then that is all that you need to do. So now we have an account. We have been able to connect our accounts to our standalone, and so they are syncing, they are speaking to each other. One other important thing to do is to be able to connect your browser. And here, our preferred browser is Google Chrome. There's something we call Zotero Plugin. Zotero Plugin. Very soon, we are going to be connecting, we are going to be sourcing things from the internet that we want to add to our library. In computer language, you have to connect, you have to create a language between the browser and your Zotero. And so you need what we call Zotero Plugin. So let me just Google Zotero Plugin, plug and in for Chrome. Chrome. I am using Google Chrome, and I will recommend that Google Chrome, because you know now Google is a verb. A lot of the searches we do are with Google, and so it's better you use Chrome for some of these searches. It works way better, and I have used Chrome for a long time, and it works perfectly. And so once I Google, I get options where I can download a Google Chrome connector. And so this one is taking me to, so let me do Zotero plugin. Let me just do that one, because you can get one from the Zotero page itself. So download Zotero. Let me go there. It might be easier for you. And soon I'm going to show you what the connector does, because you're going to be using it. So this is what you need, Zotero connector. So install Zotero connector. You click on this one, and then it will install Zotero's connection to your web browser. So remember what we did? We created an account online. We downloaded Zotero standalone. We connected our standalone to our online account. And the fourth thing we are doing is to download a Zotero connector. And so once you download this one, it will connect your browser to be able to communicate with your Zotero. I have already done that, so I don't need to do it, but you will need to do it for the first time. So let me show you how the connector works. So this is my browser. It's my Chrome browser. Let me move this thing away so I can see. My Chrome Zotero is connected to this browser, and the way I know is by bringing my cursor to the right of the address bar. To the right of the address bar. Once I put the cursor there showing, you see that there's an indication there saying save to Zotero. So that is telling me that this browser is connected to Zotero. If you have not connected it, you won't see it. So I have another browser here. This one is not connected. So you see that there's nothing here. So if I'm looking something online with this browser and I want to add it to Zotero, it will not show because this browser is not connected. So you need to connect your browser to Zotero. And I'm going to show you the reason that is very important. And that I will show by indicating how you can add records to your library. So what I showed you in my library is about 1,045 items. These things were added as time went on. I remember I got introduced to Zotero very early in my PhD program. And I hope those who are very early in your graduate program, this will be a very good time to start using Zotero. So you build your reference over time. So I've built it over the years, and I'm going to continue to build it until maybe I retire and then whale it out to my to my son. I don't know how that will work, but so it's not something you do in a day. Don't be scared that you need to upload 1,000 whatever. And it's about what you use. So I'm going to show you how you can get to this point where you have a lot of materials in your library. So assuming this is your page, there's nothing in there. There are 4 main ways you can add to your library. 3 of them are very easy, and that one is internet-based. So you need to have an internet to be able to do those ones, the fairly easy ones. One of them is where you don't have internet or where internet fails, then you might do the manual. So let me start with the very easiest of all. So I was just talking to you about the browser, and I have my Zotero connected to my browser. You know, as I hinted earlier, for academic writing, if you want to locate a source, the best place to go is Google Scholar. So I will search my Scholar and then try to search my materials from there. So let me see, I am writing on curriculum because that is my area. So let me just search with something on curriculum, say curriculum development. And then I search, this is your typical interface for Google Scholar. So you see that a lot of options come in. And I probably might have used Howard. I'm just picking this one, Curriculum Development by Howard, 2007. Now let's go to the address bar. This is your typical address bar, and I showed you this part of the address bar, which indicates that your Zotero is connected. Now, previously, it wasn't like this. Now you see that there's a folder, and that is exactly what we want to see. When this folder shows up, it means the browser can actually extract reference information from the sources that are displayed here and add to your library. So assuming I have read this work and I want to cite it, once I get to this page and I have it, the simple thing I need to do is to come and then click on the folder icon that is shown on the address bar. So I'll just come here, click on this one, and then it pops up this dialog box. So you see that all the references that showed up on the list are also here. So now it's asking me, which of them do you want to add to your library? So I decide, okay, I want to add curriculum development, which is the second one. I just click this one, and then I come and say, okay. So the moment I hit okay, you see that it is saving to Iris. It is Iris because I had already selected Iris, so don't worry. And so you see it is saving to Iris. That shows that it is communicating with my Zotero standalone. So now let me go and open my Zotero standalone and see what is happening there. I come, click it, and voila, you see the citation is here. So curriculum development, Howard, the name is there, the publisher, the year, and then it shows. So my reference is in there. Let's do it one more time. So I search for curriculum development. Maybe let me try something else. Curriculum, let me do pedagogy. Pedagogy, and then search, yes. So there are a couple of them, why pedagogy, blah, 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 blah. They are all here. Now I want to add a couple of them to my library because I've read them and I want to cite them. So all I need to do is to go and click on this icon, and then it brings me the list of the things on the page. And interestingly, you can even select more than one. So if you are using pedagogy of the oppressed, okay, I have pedagogy of teaching by fair. So maybe I want to add this one, define. Okay, so let me take it this time. So I was trying to show that you can add even more than one from your browser. So I have searched for pedagogy. I hope you see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I've searched for pedagogy and I've seen these items from my Google Scholar page that I have read and I want to cite, or I intend to read, and so I want to add to my library. What I do is just to go to my folder here, which of them my library. So I click on OK. The moment I click OK, you see that it is showing that it is saving to this folder. So it's going to save all the three of them. And when it's done, it will go away. This will go away. Then it tells you it is already in your library. So yes, let me go and check. Maybe it is. Yes, they are already there. So the references we had from Google Scholar have already been added to our references. So this is the first and easier, which was empty, now has 4 references. And that is how you keep adding references. Sometimes too, you might not have the thing online. Maybe you have the article with you as PDF. A lot of times you do. When your lecturer gives you a PDF to read, something like this. So I have this article, quite recent one. I just want to open so you know it's an academic writing. So curriculum inquiry is the journal, the title, Are We All in This Together? COVID-19, Imperialism and the Politics of Belonging. So this article probably it was given to you in class and then you read it. You want to add it to your library. Of course, you can find it online, but if you have it on your computer, it's another easy way you can add to your library. So all you need to do in this case is what we call the drag and drop, as simple as dragging and dropping. So I'll open my Zotero standalone like this one. I will come to pick this PDF,
Okay.
drag it all the way, and then drop it. So when I drop it, it shows as a PDF. Mm-hmm. So what I do next is to right click on it and then come and select retrieve metadata. So I click on retrieve metadata and then you get this box saying, are we all blah, blah, blah processing. So what it does is it extracts all the author information and the, whatever you need for referencing and then add it as you want. So it has done it, it's finished. So we just close it and we come to see, here we go. So our reference has been added too. Our PDF is there, but the reference information is there. So the title, the journal, the page, and all of that is extracted and then you have it. Fairly easy. So instead of going online to search and add them, if you have it as a PDF, you can also add it to your library. And that is another easy way you can do it. So we know 2 ways of doing that. I need to caution that when you are not connected to internet and you drag and drop, it might not work. And so you need to be connected to internet to be able to, for it to be able to retrieve the metadata. I also need to caution that if you're dragging and drop, the file needs to have been configured in a way that it will be able to extract. For example, if your document was scanned, it might not be able to extract the metadata from there. Usually it works with PDF that have been generated out of a Word document or a word processor. So if it's some works that you scanned into a PDF document, it will not be able to extract. So that's the downside of that. But if it's a regular article you downloaded from somewhere, it will work. So I have that one added. I have these ones added from online. There's another way you can also do that, and that is by using the DOI.
Okay.
My library, there's an icon here. I hope you can see. And
Yeah.
the inscription that comes with it says add items by identifier.
Okay.
Now, if you're familiar with references online, now they all come with some DOI something, digital object identifier. You might not have paid attention to it because you don't need it, but it's important for some reason. Sometimes once you have the digital identifier, you'll be able to add a reference to your library. So let me get a journal. I'm going to try curriculum inquiry because I just used something from there. So you are likely to get that taking the articles in the journal, in the current issue, and then I get, this was the one I added. So let me pick this other one. Oh, let me go back. Yeah, so there's another article here. What grade are you in on being non-binary researcher? So let me just click on this article. And then for a lot of these online journals, you will see this one. This is the DOI number, the digital object identifier number. So this is the number that you need. Once you have this number, just this number, you'll be able to add items to your library. So you can connect. You can just copy this DOI. So I've selected the entire DOI right from the HTTPS. I'm going to copy it. I just use a shortcut key, but ordinarily you will just use your right click and then say copy. Now I come to activate my Google standalone, and then I come to DOI. When I click it, it gives me the box and say enter ISBN. So if you have an ISBN number, if you have a DOI, if you have any of these numbers, what you copied here, and then hit enter. And I need to caution this also requires you having an internet. So yes, and once it's done, you see that that article is here. What grade are you in? So the article, it shows the article, the name, the journal, all those things come up here. So this is another way you can add references to your library. So it is, we have done three. One, we went to Google Scholar, and then we clicked on the folder icon, and then it gave us options. We picked the ones we wanted, and then it added it. Then we also dragged and dropped a file, a PDF file, and then asked it to extract the metadata, and then it was able to. And then we use the DOI by clicking here and copying the DOI there, and then it also extracted our reference for us. One quick one, same as going to Google Scholar. Do something real quick. Away from here, because this browser is not. This same article, if I have it here on a page like this, I want to show you the difference between saving from Google Scholar and saving from an academic page, which is not necessarily Google Scholar. So because this is a journal, Google recognizes that it's an academic page, and Zotero also recognizes that. So if you have one item, you will still be able to add it here, just the same way you did with Google Scholar. So you come to the address bar and see the right-hand side. Now there's no folder there, but you still see that there's something like a document icon shown. So it tells you save to Zotero. The difference between this and what we did in Google Scholar is that with the Google Scholar, you have a number of items that you can add at a time. Because here we only have one article, if I click on this one, it's going to add just this article. So I came here in the first place for the DOI, but if it's not just for the DOI and I get to any journal page and I want to add a reference, it is just the same as doing it with Google Scholar. You click, open the page, and then look at the right-hand side of the address bar. You see the icon over there, click on the icon, and it will add to your Zotero standalone. So it has added it. This is it. So you see now we have two. We used one with the DOI to bring. The other one, it just picked it, it extracted it, and actually it included the abstract, which might be useful sometimes. So this is how we have been able to add references to our library. Now somebody will say, if I don't have internet, or I get some material, maybe somebody's dissertation that I picked from the Osagefo Library at South Campus, it's not online. So how do I add the reference? And that is why the final and most important part of adding references is interesting for us to know. So if you have a record that is not online, that you cannot do this easily, then you have to do what we call manual entry. You have to manually add it to your library. And it is quite fairly simple that you can do, except that saving direct from online or from a source is quite easier to do that. But in situation where it will not work, you just have to type it in. So let's try doing that. To come up here to this plus icon. The plus means add to your library. So you click on the, what record are you trying to add? Is it a book? Is it a section of a book? Usually we'll have some books with book chapters. So if it's that, then you choose that one. Is it a journal article? Is it a newspaper? And there's actually more of that. So you can come to more and you see that there are so many artwork. Is it a bill? Is it a case? Is it a conference paper, encyclopedia article? All the options that you can think of. Even if it's a software, you can still add it to your references. So once you are here, you can get to choose something. So let's take a book as an example. Once I click a book, it opens this part for me. So it means I'm ready to add my record. So let me just use my book because that one I can readily remember the details. So curriculum studies, foundational issues. Yeah. So I have typed the title of the book there. Then you move to the next, the author. It's me, Addai-Mununkum. My name is popping up because I already have other references there. So the last name, and then I go to the first name, which is my first name, and then add them. But I don't have any other co-author, so I keep it. I can skip most of the items here. It's not an addition, but the place I know it's Accra. The publisher is Sprint. The date is 2020, and the pages are 214. I know. These are basic reference materials, reference information that you need for a book. So I'll just skip the rest and then save it there. Now, once I'm done, you see that that reference has been added here. Curriculum Studies Foundation issued by Addai-Mununkum. And so I have been able to add a record to my library. So if it's not coming from online, from the three options I've shown you, you can also add it manually. So now we have a couple of references in our library, which means if we are going to cite this when we are writing, we have them already there. And that is how easy it is to add to our references. So quickly, I'm going to talk about how we can organize our library before we get back to generating references, which I showed earlier. So you realize that this looks like a typical Windows interface. There are a lot of folders over here. These are all folders I created myself. So sometimes you'll be writing on a particular paper that you want to group all the references of that paper in a particular folder. You just create a folder and put them there. So assuming I want to add all these, I've already done that under Iris. But if I wanted to create a folder, let me backtrack, I was too fast. If I want to create a folder, I go to the left-hand corner to the icon here, and then click on a folder. So it says enter a name for this collection. So I'll just type test items, and then I'll hit OK. The moment I do that, you see that the folder test items has been created over here. Just as you move things in Windows, if you're using Windows, the same way you're able to move files from one location to the other, that's exactly the same with this one. So let me go and then pick what we have saved. I can select them. I can hit on Shift and select all of them the same way you do in your Windows. And I can actually drag them the same way and put them in any folder. So I'm dragging them to test items. And let's see if it works. Yes, so here we go. You see that they have all come here. So I've been able to create a folder and I've been able to move all my items there. Whether or not you create a folder, the item shows in your library. So this is the big folder where everything that you've added is in there. When we're trying, we had 1,046 items. Because you've added a couple more, you see that now it's 1,053. So whether or not you put it in a folder doesn't matter. So long as you have it in your Zotero standalone, you'll be able to use it for reference. So that is how you get to organize your folder. So you can group your writings according to the scholarship that you're using for the writing. And so that's what I've done with some of these things over here. So yours will certainly be different. Now let me show one very important thing over here. Zotero is not just a tool that helps you to reference. In fact, it is your own library, because you can add notes to all the references that you have there. Because a lot of times we read something, we get some ideas, and later we forget where we read it from. With Zotero, you are able to keep all your ideas together so that even if you forget and you search, you are able to get it. And that is what I want to demonstrate to you. So for each of these reference items, you can actually add notes and tags to them. So let's pick this one, for example, pedagogy. As soon as you click and then you look on the right, you see that the information, the reference information is there. But beyond the reference information, you see, and there's related here. So let me just start with the tags. Tags are usually just catchy words or terminologies that you want to connect with an article to make it easy to find. If you're familiar with a lot of academic writing, you see that after are your tags. So assuming for this particular reference, there were some keywords that I want to be associated with this, I can just add it to the reference so that next time when I'm searching something related to those keywords, it will be very easy for me. So that is what I want to show. So I've selected pedagogy and I want to add some keywords to it. All these are just conjectures because I haven't read it. I'm just assuming. So if I've read it, certainly I know this is related to pedagogy. So I get to add that one, pedagogy. I click on add, you see pedagogy is there. And then I can add something else. Maybe let me add curriculum because curriculum is always connected to pedagogy. And so I add curriculum. Lasted, it looks like the guy was writing from Germany. So maybe I will tag Germany to this one. And what else should I add? Education. If you are not in education, then maybe you might want to consider it as something related to education. And then I get to add that. So I've added these 4 tags to this work. Now, what this helps me to do is that sometime later, if I've forgotten and I'm writing something related to education, and I want to find the references I've read related to education or Germany or curriculum, I can just search and then find it. So remember the name here is lasted. Now I'm going back to my main library. I am writing something on Germany. So let me just type Germany over here. The moment I hit Germany, because I had tagged Germany to Y pedagogy, you see that it has shown that. And so the moment I click on, I type any of the tagged items, it will come. Let me try curriculum. All the items I've tagged curriculum will show. And there's a lot of them because I'm in the field, so don't be scared. It's hard to find, but I know it's there. Maybe it's too much. So let me try education. That might be worse. Education might be worse. Yeah, it's worse because that's what I do. Let me see pedagogy. So I'm not going away because it's not there. It's actually, it's there, but you have a lot of fields to search from. So this is quite, yeah, okay. So this one is there. So you see lasted over there. Because we have created tags for it, it makes it very easy to identify. So that is how you get to add tags to it. Even more importantly, you can add notes to it so that you don't forget what you actually read about the work. So if you want to add a bit more detailed information about the article or the reference, you just come to notes. Just the same way you added tags, you click on add, and then it gives you a word notepad page, sort of. So this is your typical notepad where you can actually add a bit of writing to it. So in this article, Watkins and Moore explains the concept of pedagogy and its connections to curriculum. I'm just creating stuff. So you can add, you can bullet points, pedagogy, if it's Ghana, if it's education, you can still add them. If they are all notes, you can add. You can use numbering and all of that. You can paragraph and all the same way you do in a web page. Once you do this and you save, it becomes associated with that record. So you see that over here, that comment is here. So what that helps is that anytime you're searching and you remember an idea, you just come and search from this idea. So let me say connections. The moment I say curriculum connections. Yes, fantastic. So you see that it pulls it up for me, making it very easy for me to reference. Oh, okay, was this article that I read this idea from? So more or less, it's your librarian on your site that keeps all your records for you so that you don't lose them, which is very important for any academic because a lot of times you read something that you have totally forgotten about. But once it's in your reference manager and you've added the appropriate notes and tags, then it's very easy for you to be able to reference. So what we just did was to show how you can add tags and comments or notes to your record. So any of the records can come with tags and notes. If you don't have any to write, that is fine. It still works as your source of reference, citation, and the rest. And so you don't necessarily need it to add to every single one of them, but it will be very helpful to you, especially when you're doing literature review. Then it will be able to help you to organize them into teams and all of that. Good. So now, two more things, and then I'll open up for you to ask questions that I'll be glad to help answer. One quick thing before the last one, how do I generate a reference from this? So assuming I have this item in my library, and then I'm supposed to present something, and I'll give a classic example. Maybe you're writing your CV. You have your own article that you want to add to your CV. Your CV is not your typical academic writing. It's just a different writing of that nature. So you are not going to add citation and then generate bibliography. So you can actually create a reference from any of these items. So that is what I'm going to show. So let me just pick this one. what happened to the affairs? This is an article by my PhD supervisor. So I want to generate a reference for this. Maybe somebody asked me, oh, do you have reference for Schweber? And I say, oh, I have it. Let me just generate it for you. All I need to do is to click on the right click on it. Now down the options, you see create bibliography. You create bibliography from the item. I just click on that, and then this box appears. The box says, which referencing style do you want? Selected APA, and I just show. So I want to copy it to clipboard because I'm sending it to somebody. So I'll just choose copy to clipboard, and then I'll say okay. Once I do that, it has copied onto my clipboard. So I just need to go to a Word document and just paste this one. So I've copied Schweber, and I'm going to paste. So I'm right-clicking, and then I'll say paste. And so you don't have to worry where the comma is, where the full stop is, which one is italicized, whether it is first name, dot or comma, and all of that. These are rules that it wastes your cognitive resource to be memorizing all these. This is how you can easily generate a reference from your library. Once you have it, you just right-click it, generate bibliography from an item, you choose what you want. Assuming you want, maybe let me change a Chicago style. I can just choose Chicago style, make sure it's copied to clipboard. I click on OK, come to my Word, paste, and then it comes. So you see that this is different from this because this was formatted with APA, this was formatted with Chicago. So it doesn't matter. Maybe you sent it and the person said, oh, can you convert it to Chicago style for me? You say, no problem. You're not going to worry at all because it's still one click away and you can easily do that. Instead of going to contact the manual and learn the rules with converting to Chicago style. So that is how easy life can be with referencing, picking from your Zotero standalone. So far we've done a lot. I know it's too much to process at this time, but I'm very happy that we are recording this. So it will be made available. And then as you try to use it, you can go back and play on the relevant portions, and then you can follow and then use your Zotero. So I'm going to go back to my Word document and then show a couple of exciting things about using it, just the way I started. And then I will end and ask for your questions.
Doc.
And then this is what we just generated at the intro. So I have my references generated, sending to a general. Yes, was Prof talking to me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
No,
yeah,
I was wondering whether, yes, after going through all
yes,
this,
sir.
if you give them the chance to at least do the preliminary things, like having their own online, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Yes, and then those
Accounts.
initial stages, so that then the rest they can do it usually, because as much as possible, we wanted them to also try and give their feedback to you what they are facing.
Too much.
But when you finish,
do something.
So you complete it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That would be great. That would be great. So, Dr. Tamanja.
Yes.
Okay. So let me just finish this in like 1 minute. I'm just showing one last thing, and then I give them the chance. Good. Thank you very much. Okay. So what I was saying was sometimes you send an article to a journal, you've written your article in APA form, and then they tell you, oh, we accept Chicago, or we accept Harvard style, or we accept something. What we did earlier it's in Chicago style, you can easily change that. All we need to do is to go to our Zotero tab, which I have my stuff here, and then we just come to click Document Preferences. So I click on Document Preferences, and then I come to choose. Let me choose Harvard because that one seems more Vancouver. Yeah, let me pick Vancouver. It's one weird referencing style. So I pick Vancouver, and the referencing style has totally changed for all of them because Vancouver references with numbers. So it's not alphabetical order, it's which one comes first, which one is second. And let's go to our work. So you see that instead of having the reference here, here is number 1. Here is number 2. That is how Vancouver references. So you come to number 1 and the reference is there. This is Vancouver style. So you had written your work in APA and then the journal says we want it in Chicago. It's just one click away. You come to document preferences, can see what it comes up with. Yes, but quite a bit of changes to that. I can change to Chicago author dates, and let's see how it comes up. Here we go, and then it changes it. So that is one great thing with using the reference manager. Assuming I decide to change the reference. So at this point, I feel like, oh, this part of the work is no longer important to me. So I'm deleting it. So I want to delete this sentence with a reference. I just delete the entire reference. And because I have deleted the reference should go away from the reference list as well. I don't need to delete it over here. I just need to refresh. So I click on this, refresh, and then the Addai-Mununkum goes away. So you wouldn't have a situation where there are items in your reference list that are showing on the reference list. So that is how exciting using Zotero can be. And so at this point, just as it was requested, I'm going to pause and then get you to do some work because we had already instructed that you try to create an account, you try to connect your Zotero, download your Zotero standalone, you try to connect it to your account. So those are the basic things. Let's see how far you can get to do that. If you have already created the account, try to add an item, either by going to Google and adding it, or you can try to manually type in the item. Let's see how easy it comes up, and let's see if you have any problems, and then I'll be happy to help you to navigate that. So Dr. Tamanja, I think you can take it up from here, and then I can come in as needed.
Yes, so how many minutes are you giving them? 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Let's say 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Let's say 10 minutes, yeah.
Okay, so it's about 10:31 now.
Yeah, so play around all the things we've done. Try to do something. Do something, whether you're adding a reference, whether you're trying to cite, whether you're trying to generate, depends on the level you are, because I know some people might have tried it after the first time, and so they are far advanced. Others are new to it, so they will just be creating an account. So just do something and then give us some feedback, and then we'll see how we can help.
Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody has a concern that you can help him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Hey. Yes, sir. Doc.
I salute.
So
I'm getting excited.
Yes,
but you started from a point, and I want you to end on the same note.
Okay.
How to insert your citation?
Okay.
Because if I have a Word document, the Zotero is not added into my Word. How do I do that?
Oh, okay. Okay. So, so I see the challenge. The challenge you have is that, so let me try to share and then.
How you start the very beginning, the article that you use in setting your name and then this thing.
Yeah, sorry, you lost me momentarily.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me take it once more. So I was trying to explain that you are experiencing that because I forgot to warn you that before you download the Zotero standalone, you should have had all your Microsoft Office products closed. If that was the case, then Zotero would have been added automatically, just as I have it here. I believe this is the part that you have a problem with.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
So you are not seeing this because probably by the time you were downloading, your Word document was on. And so it couldn't connect. But there's still hope. You can still add it. So what you do in this case is to go to Google and search for Zotero Word plugin. So let me say Zotero Word plugin. So you need to download, yes. So word processor plugin installation. You have to go through that process and then it's going to add it to your Microsoft Word. So that is what you can do to solve your problem. But for those who are yet to download, that's a bit of caution that I need to give. When you are downloading the standalone, make sure your Microsoft Office product, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and the rest are all closed. That way it automatically connects and then downloads. But if that has failed for you, you can still Google Zotero MS Word, Microsoft Word plugin. Once you have the plugin, then you'll be okay. So thanks for bringing up that.
What about if you restart, will it work?
Okay, so maybe you can try that one. You can delete your standalone, uninstall your standalone, close all your word processes, and then download again. Yes, that will also work. So maybe that might be easier. Yeah, so you can do that. And maybe as you're waiting, one thing you need to pay attention. Anytime you add to your standalone library and you are not connected to internet, it doesn't go to your account online. But anytime you connect to internet, it does it automatically. If you want to fast track it, you can come here. There's an icon here. I hope my screen is sharing.
Yes.
Okay. So you see this icon here that shows some arrow. Once you click, now it's showing a sync with Zotero.
It's Zotero, okay.
So if you've added a couple of references that you are not sure if it's going to the library, you can just click and then it will start rotating. Once that is done, it will automatically update whatever you have online. So that if you change computers to one computer and the other, you can still have access to your Zotero. And you are not limited by the number of machines you can have the standalone on. So if you have a desktop at the office, you have a laptop at home, you have a Microsoft Surface that you carry around, you can have it on all of them and they will be connected. So even if you move from one machine to the other, you still have all your references intact. So that is one cool thing. Good. Okay, Dr. Tamanja, I think we can take some feedback, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So participants, if you have some challenges, you can let him know, and then we can see how we can resolve your challenges. So just spend some 1 minute or two, type whatever challenge that you are going through, then he will attend to you.
Otherwise, Richardson can also ask whether anybody has a problem with creating accounts, anybody has a problem with this and that, so the step-by-step thing, no.
Okay. Okay, good. And Dr. Tamanja, I think a lot of them are requesting to have access to the recording. So if you want to share how they can access it after here, I think that will be very helpful for them.
But all the sessions are uploaded on YouTube. So the IT department will do that after this.
We'll do that, yeah. And it's at the UUW channel, is that right?
Yes, yes.
Because UUW has a channel. UUW has a channel on YouTube. So if you missed a couple of the sessions, I'm reading from a couple of the participants that they missed a couple of the sessions or they missed part of this presentation. You can just go to YouTube, Google UUW. I suspect that they might connect it to Iris. So UUW Iris, RIS, and then you see all the presentations, including this one.
So
and then
somebody says that my plugin is not showing.
Mhm.
Says that his plugin is not showing. What could be the problem?
Is it the Google plugin or the Word plugin? Because there are two of them. So maybe you can come back and then let me know if it's the for both of them, actually. For both of them, if it's not working, you can delete and then try again. It's sometimes technology doesn't work the way we want. If your network gets interrupted a little bit, sometimes it might not work the way you want it. So if you're having problems with the plugins, Google plugin or Word plugin, you can start the process again if it doesn't work. But ideally, if you download it from the source, it has to automatically install. Or maybe I need to alert that once you click the download, it will come as a download file, a setup file. And you need to click on the setup file to have it run. So if that was your problem, take note of that one too. Once you click on the plugins, it will come as a download file, usually at the bottom on the status bar of your window. And then you have to click on it for it to run. And then once it's installed on your machine, then it will show. So try one of those things and I think it will be resolved. Yes, and I see somebody suggesting that sometimes restarting your machine helps with integration. Yes, that is true. So maybe that will be your first point. If it hasn't worked, maybe do a restart and then see if it doesn't work, try going through the process again and see how it can be connected. And for those who are wondering how you can access the sessions, Dr. Kwaidu has shared it on the chat page. So you can, after here, you can play it back and then follow the step-by-step demonstration. Somebody has a problem with adding a reference. Yes, Dr. Tamanja.
Yes, we will have to end this 5 minutes to 11. So we can take some few questions and then we end 5 minutes to 11.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't have many questions coming, you can wrap up since it will be available for them online on YouTube to watch.
For them online. Okay, good. I think I've been able to body, and as I said earlier, there's more to learn. You see, there are a lot of other features we did not talk about. And the exciting thing is there's a forum, Zotero forum online. If you go to zotero.org, there's a tab called forum. That is where all the users of Zotero go to complain about problems and get help. And it's very helpful. It has been very helpful to me. Sometimes you get stuck with something unique that you're doing that the software doesn't help you to do. People are able to direct you, including sometimes editing the coding for your standalone. And so once you have created an account, I also advise that if you have any challenge beyond here, you can also post it at the Zotero forum, and then other users and experts will come in and then support you. The challenge I have seen with people that I've introduced this to is that some people take it and right away start using it. Others take it and say, okay, after this semester, then I'll start using it. Those who usually procrastinate are not able to use it because it's kind of something you build upon. And the more you use, the better you get at using it. So initially, it might not come very easy, but if you persevere and add, it's going to pay in the long run because the man hours you would have used checking dots and commas in your reference list, you can put to a more productive use. And so I will encourage that everybody should start using it right away. If you have any article you're writing, just start from the very first one. Once you start writing and then a reference comes for you to add, instead of just simply typing and then moving on, go to your Zotero, add the reference there and try to use Zotero to cite it in there. By the time your article is done, your reference is done. And then you would have started building your reference and your library from there. And with time, you become so comfortable using it that you wouldn't have a problem. And so especially for those at the early stages of your PhDs and your MPhils, you don't have to forgo this one. You have to do it because it's a very good time to start using it. So right from your readings in class, any article that you read, make sure you're adding it to your library. Add your comments to it. It will come very handy when you start writing your dissertation. And then it will make your life a whole lot easier. Lastly, I want to say this is just one of the reference managers available. There are a couple of others like Mendeley, like EndNotes. They are all available. Some of them are paid for. And that is why I prefer Zotero. So don't make it look like this is the only one. If you're already using another one that works for you, that is great. We are not saying switch automatically to Zotero, no. But if you're starting, this will be a very good one to start with because you have pretty much all the features that you need, and it will be very helpful to you. So thank you very much,
Doc,
everyone, for
participating. Just a quick one. So since we have other software, is it compatible, or can you install more than one on the same laptop? You
don't need to.
So for instance, Mendeley and then Zotero.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I tried it once. I tried Mendeley and I installed Mendeley and both Zotero on it there. But as the prof just hinted, you don't need
to.
Yeah, either.
It has to be one of them because the features I'm able to do. I actually installed Mendeley because I wanted to see whether there are some things there that I don't have it. And so I tried a couple of times and realized everything I have is in Zotero. So you don't need both of them. But if you are adventurous and you want to try, yes, you can have at least Mendeley and Zotero on the same machine. Yeah. For participating in this, I'm getting very good feedback, and I'm very sure that a lot of us are going to use it. I am available. If you are using it and you have some feedback, you chance upon me, just ask me. Maybe I could just be of help right there and then. And I'll be happy to hear from you. If we meet and it's been helping you, just let me know.
Somebody says that. Somebody says she wish you could borrow your head for 4 weeks.
Head. I don't know about the technology to do that. I wish there was a technology to do that so I can rent it out. But yes, but if you chance upon, if I meet you somewhere that is comfortable and you have something I can show you real quick. I'm in the Faculty of Educational Studies, FES. My office's number is 123. If you're passing by and you have a unique question, you can just bring your laptop. You can just take a look at it. And I want to have a lot of our graduate students using it so that with time it becomes the culture. And then we can begin to initiate new students who come, and then we will create a bigger community of Zotero users. Thank you very much for Iris for bringing this up. I think it's very, very helpful. And I want to encourage that we continue to bring some of these seminars up to equip our graduate students. Thank you. And I hope we'll get to meet on some other time for another presentation.
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. So our time is almost up. We have just 3 minutes. So maybe, Prof, if you could close the...
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we've witnessed another exciting presentation. This takes you step by step, towards how you can use Zotero. It is like an artificial intelligence thing that is, supporting you in your referencing, Richardson has become the Zotero champion in the university, and therefore, anytime you want support in that direction, please, don't be scared. Go to him. He has already said it. He's giving you his office numbers and so on. Please go there and get help from him. As he also said, I reiterate that the fact that we need to ensure that every graduate student utilizes this. It's helpful. You don't miss anything. You rather gain a lot from it. So I believe that you've all enjoyed it. I realized that about 80 people or so in the audience, and I'm sure everybody has taken something out of this. And so, but I think you should prepare yourself that many people will come to you.
Yes,
to
I
seek
know.
your support and help, and there are other things in there that I have to also learn from, so I'll be coming to you to help. So graduate students, you have to approach him for support and so on. It's been exciting, and thank you very much, and we hope to get you on board at another time. Thank you very much. And Tamanja, thank you for hosting this and being the one championing everything that we're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prof, for your closing remarks. So as we have always done, the next presentation will be Tuesday, and that will be how to collect data on the field. So thank you for participating today, and hope to see you again next week. And to Doc, I don't think we can thank you enough. So may God bless you for the wonderful presentations that you have given us. Thank you so much, and may God bless everyone.
Okay.